Dr. Speth, you've had a fantastic 2013. It's been your best year ever. So I just wanted to understand the markets. You have got a pretty even spread, though China has turned out to be your largest market. What's 2013 been like? And if you can give us a little bit of a forecast for 2014 as well, globally.
Overall, you're totally right. 2013 was really a very good year for Jaguar Land Rover. Globally, we grew by 19%, and here in India by 21%. So really a success, and I only can say thank you very much to the team. And the success at the end of the day was based on the products. The products are highly sought after all around the world, based on this stunning design, based on this capability and the drivability of our cars.
And 2014, what's that looking like? I mean, you do have a big product in 2014 also expected, and maybe a high volume model as well, or rather relatively high volume model.
2014 from a calendar year, but also then the forthcoming fiscal year 14-15, we will see also further growth. As we mentioned in 2012 that we are going to introduce 40 new models in a 5 years time frame, we are now step by step delivering.
And again, you've shown a lot of growth, but the sense one gets is, in terms of scale, you are relatively small. Is that probably a worry and one of your biggest concerns? Because really the overall scale is not there. I mean, and again, it leads to the question, you're out of the Ford umbrella. So how are you coping with, let's say, a relative lack of scale compared to other luxury car makers?
Oh, we feel, by the way, very well. We are small, but also being small can be a strength. Being big for just the sake of being big is not really the thing we want to do. At the end of the day, I guess we have to make sure that we have profitable, sustainable growth, so that we can protect our employees, so that we can make the company even more solid and deliver very, very special products in a very special quality to our customers.
So just coming to profitability, obviously that's been, you've shown that a lot in the last couple of years. Where has that come from? Because clearly you don't quite yet have the economies of scale, which I'm alluding to. Is it because you've been able to price your products at maybe a certain premium which the brand is now willing to take, or has there been real cost efficiencies which you've driven into the business?
Our cars are premium cars, but for the customer smart buy. So the product content, the product capability you really get is convincing. And that's the base. And with the volume growth, we really could also increase our profitability.
Right. Profitability
is the one thing. Why can we then grow further? Because we get the opportunity, backed up with Tata, our parent company, the freedom to invest. And therefore, we really earn some money, but I really can tell you, we spend it faster in order to go and to develop the next range of products.
Right. Talking about, you've got the freedom to invest from Tata Motors, which is quite great, but is it a concern that the parent company actually isn't doing too great at home, and when the parent isn't healthy and the, let's say, child, so to speak, has to support in a way, is that a bit of a concern?
It's not a concern at all. I guess we got the freedom, and that's really, especially from our chairman, Cyrus Mistry, a great privilege to work with him and to get the freedom to develop our brand independently.
Right. And there's always been talk of synergies with Tata Motors, but I don't see that happening at all. Is it because the products are too diverse and you've got, let's say, your own kind of projections and let's say, further ambitions to pursue, where really the overlap is not quite obvious right now?
Yeah, you're totally right. From a product point of view, there's hardly any overlap. We have two totally different product portfolios. On the other hand, Tata can help us and support us by far more elements. Tata Consultancy, for instance, is helping us and supporting us to have the very best processes and the very best IT relatively quickly in our operations. So being small helps us being more nimble and more leaner in order also to increase and to speed up our process.
Tata, I think, had done a project where they helped you with the XF Sport Brake, I think. Can we see further sort of cooperation? Because the sense I get is that level of cooperation hasn't been replicated in any future programs.
We appreciate every help, every support, because also in the UK, at this very moment, we cannot get the necessary number nor quality of skilled engineers.
And I just want to shift to India a bit. You've said you've got about 21% growth over here, so quite a big market. But quite frankly, it's come off a very small base. You are still number 4 by a long margin in the luxury car race, so to speak. Is there going to be renewed focus? And quite frankly, I think the commitment can only come, and we've spoken about this, with more local assembly. And quite frankly, there doesn't seem to be enough of it as yet.
Yeah, you're right, but we invest and we're absolutely committed to India. So at this motor show, if you look down, we are going to invest from a product side, and we are going to launch from a product side, the F-Type Coupe. But on the Land Rover side, we also show the flagship, the Range Rover long wheelbase, and the technology in the Evo. And from an operational footprint, also commitment, we are going to highlight that we will produce our flagship Jaguar, the XJ, also in India now.
So you will assemble the XJ in India, right? That's quite a big step, because it's aluminium architecture, which, from what I understand, is not easy from a KD point of view. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's a little complicated.
It's a little bit complicated because it's one of our most complex vehicles we have in our lineup. Nevertheless, it's a third vehicle now. After the Freelander, after the XF 2.2 liter and 2 liter petrols, and now we are delivering the XJ, and with the XJ, with this highly complex product, you see the commitment and the investment also in India, and that's the next step. That's now our third product we will produce in India.
And just coming to engines, you're launching a new engine family, which is completely on your own 4-cylinder family. I just want to understand, going into the future, especially when the CO2 race intensifies, do you think you would need to partner with another engine supplier, or just partner with someone else for engines, just because the huge scale requirements in technology sometimes might require you to do that?
Yeah, overall we have still contracts with our partners right now, and we fulfill our contract. So that goes without saying.
I think after 2015 that is...
So it will take a certain period of time. In addition, we are now setting up our own facility for 4-cylinder engines, diesel and petrols in 3 different performance levels, and that will be the backbone for the future.
Right. Last question, Dr. Speth. You've shown a lot of profits, a lot of growth. Since one gets now moving forward, the deep amount of investments you're going to make might hurt margins a bit going in the future. Also, I believe your cars are quite rich on content, which again, they're not cheap to produce for you. So do you think, let's say, one has to be pragmatic and one can expect that maybe a kind of, let's say, rationalization of your profits because they've gone into product investment looking forward?
I guess at the end of the day, for me, it's not profit which is the real figure. For me, it's the cash element, because cash at the end of the day gives us the opportunity to invest. From that point of view, I'm quite sure that we can develop a lot of new products very successfully.
And on motorsport, any kind of rethinking on that, or at the moment you've still got a lot of things to do before you get into that so-called luxury of promoting the brand through motorsport?
We have so many homework to do. We can't do everything simultaneously.
So that's.
But we have got a huge heritage in motorsport, goes without saying.
But at the moment, it's a bit on hold. Is that right?
It's a little bit on hold. We are doing the one or the other. We are sponsoring the one or the other in special areas. For instance, we do the Race for Heroes, as you know. But that also shows the values we really.
No, I'm talking about Le Mans, which is actually the ultimate goal for Jaguar.
Yeah, Le Mans is still on hold.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.